I would like to call the January 22nd meeting of the Bloomington Historic Preservation Commission to order. This is the first meeting of 2026, so hopefully we'll either elect officers or somebody in a temporary position to serve as chair for this meeting. So let's move on to a roll call.
Duncan Campbell. Karen Duffy. Here. Drew Heron. Jack Baker.
Here.
Jeremy Hackard.
Here.
Ernesto Castaneda.
Here.
Reynard Cross.
Here.
Sam DeSoler.
Here.
Melanie Dusner. Daniel Schlegel. We have quorum.
Okay, election of officers. Is there anybody who would like to nominate themselves either for chair, either for the duration of the year or in an interim position for this meeting?
I would recommend that we do a temporary chair since we have a number of our group here who are temporarily serving until appointments are made. And I'd nominate Sam to serve as the chair for this evening.
Second.
Okay.
Sorry, Sam.
It's been, there's been a motion and second to nominate Sam DeSoler as a temporary chair for this meeting. Assuming we go through the regular voting procedure. Yes. Jack Baker.
Yes.
Jeremy Hackard.
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda.
Yes.
Reynard Cross.
Yes.
Sam DeSoler.
Yes.
That motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Do we have any nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Jeremy for vice chair.
I'll second that.
And is this for this meeting or for the
For this
duration of the
meeting,
year?
till we figure out.
Well, yeah.
And the second was Sam DeSoler, is that
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
Okay, again, we have a motion and a second to nominate Jeremy Hackard as temporary vice chair for tonight's meeting. We'll go ahead and vote. Jack Baker.
Yes.
Jeremy Hackard.
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda.
Yes.
Renard Cross.
Yes.
Sam DeSoler.
Yes.
That motion passes 5-0.
Okay, I can take this off now.
All right, so who can remember if they were here for November 13th? Because we're gonna need minutes approved. Okay.
I can.
Do we have I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Yes. I move
Okay.
to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Got it. Okay, there's a motion on the floor to approve the minutes from the November 13th meeting, and we'll go ahead and take that vote. Jack Baker.
Yes.
Jeremy Hackard.
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda.
Yes.
Renard Cross.
Yes.
Sam DeSoler.
Yes.
5-0, minutes are approved.
Okay, moving on to your meeting.
Please
Okay.
continue.
Moving on to certificates of appropriateness. All of our applications tonight are commission reviewed. So we're moving on to our first item, COA 2392 for 309 South Davison Street in the Greater Prospect Hill Historic District.
I'm sorry, just
Yes.
before we move on, we have a new
We have a visitor.
person here.
Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Councilmember Sydney Zulik. I will be serving as your new council liaison for the HPC, and this is a new program that I spearheaded last year starting this year so that our boards and commissions feel more supported by council, that they know that they have a person that they can call if they have any issues. And I will also be charged with making sure that you are all informed of anything coming down the pipeline at council that might impact the HPC. So please feel free to reach out to me personally. I'm happy to give anyone my cell, and I look forward to working with all of you. And I will also be reaching out to people individually to schedule coffee, but I'm liaison to 2 different boards and commissions, and so that will be slow. So like, if you don't get an email from me this month, it's coming.
It is coming.
And I look forward to working with each of you individually and as a group.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you, Renard, for.
Good point. Okay. This item is a little bit special because the petitioner is asking for it to be extended for another 2 years. This item has expired since the work was not completed. Is the petitioner or somebody representing the petitioner present at tonight's meeting? Great. Okay, so in December of 2023, the Bloomington Historic Preservation Commission approved a proposal for a rear addition and accessory unit to be built at 309 South Davison in the Greater Prospect Hill Historic District. Within 2 years of the issuance of COA 2392, work on the proposed project has not been completed, so the applicant is applying to renew the COA to complete the project.
The statement.
You're right, we didn't read the statement. Right, my bad, hang on a second. Right, so before we get much more deeply into this, we're getting into certificates of appropriateness and demolition delays. And for each of these items, Noah, the HPC program manager, will present a staff report and hear from the petitioner. If they have any additional information, followed by a round of questions from each commissioner, we ask petitioners, public, and commissioners to refrain from speaking until addressed by the chair, unless a question is directly addressed to them. If a member of the public or a petitioner wishes to comment, please raise your hand until recognized by the chair. And once a motion is made, we'll then open up the discussion of the item for members of the commission only. We encourage all commissioners, petitioners, and members of the public to be civil and respectful at all times. Thank you for the reminder. I'm eating lots of those today.
So while we have you here, is there anything that you'd like to add about this item?
Well, we got the building permit issued within the time period, but they wanted to split the building permit up so that the accessory building was on a separate permit, and Gary Clapper had done all the drawings. We didn't have time, basically was my delay, but we didn't have time to get the second application into the building department in time to stay within the guidelines. And I just, I'm just on a slow roll.
So is this for the accessory, or is this for the main?
The accessory.
The accessory, thank you.
It's the garage. It's gonna be a two-car garage with an unfinished apartment above, so that part's not gonna be finished. It's gonna be a garage building. It shows in the drawings. I don't have the drawings with me, but I think you have them, so.
We know.
Will this be,
Yeah.
all right.
And nothing's changed on the project except we just couldn't get the permit issued for the garage. And that was integrally part of what Barry had designed for this lot. So I assumed that y'all had seen it and it had, so just, I've had 2 slow years, but, so.
I hear you, thank you.
I had things removed. So I'm back in the saddle, so, we're good.
Welcome back.
All right, the staff recommendation on this item is to approve an extension for COA 2392 for 2 more years. The proposed addition and accessory structure, which we're voting tonight on the accessory structure, comply with the historic district guidelines. These guidelines have not changed in the time that this project has been on hold.
Do we have any further feedback from the Neighborhood Design Review Committee?
I haven't heard from the neighborhood on this one.
Okay. All right. Questions? Jack?
I have no questions on this one.
Jeremy?
You answered my question if the guidelines had changed, and they have not, so we're good.
No
Mr.
questions.
Cross? Ms. Duffy?
No question.
No questions.
I have no questions. You have any comments, Jack?
Just that it seems to fit the
Sam.
guidelines very well.
We need a motion before comments.
Oh, that's,
All right. It's been a year, man.
Yeah.
I will entertain a motion at this point, and then we'll discuss.
I'll move
Thank you.
for a 2-year extension. Is that what we're looking for? A 2-year extension of the project for the accessory structure.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, now we can talk about
Yeah.
it. Jack,
I think it's fitting.
Jeremy?
It was already approved. The requirements haven't changed, so I have no problem with approving 2 more years.
All right,
Yep, same here. No issues with it.
Karen?
Same here, but I just make a comment for the record on a typo.
Hmm.
In the background paragraph, the address is given as 209
Yeah.
instead of 309, just so that nobody gets upset at 209.
Thank you. All right, I would entertain a motion. I mean, we can call vote, sorry.
On vote, great,
Yeah.
so there's been a motion which has been seconded on COA 23992 for the extension. We're gonna go ahead and vote on that. Jack Baker?
Yes.
Jeremy Hackard?
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda?
Yes.
Renard Cross?
Yes.
Sam DeSoler?
Yes.
That motion passes 5-0.
Thank you for coming in, you're good for another 2 years.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
We do have.
Yeah, no public comments.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, I hope the owners of 209 South Davison don't end up with an unwanted ADU.
It might be it's very nice.
What a surprise.
Just glad it wasn't a demolition.
Oh, jeez.
Just give us a check like that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Moving on to our next item, 708 West 12th Street in the Maple Heights Historic District. This petition is also for a new ADU, a 2-story carriage house with a garage on the ground floor.
He's on.
I believe it looks like the petitioner is present online. So this is a 22-foot by 22-foot 2-story carriage house. The lower level is a 2-car garage. The second level would include living space, we'll show you, including living and dining room, bedroom, and bathroom. The front elevation in this illustration refers to the north elevation, which would be facing a proposed driveway to be added off of the alley to the north. We have also received some questions from the Neighborhood Design Review Committee that were not included in your packets. These arrived a little later. So I'm just going to run through them real quick before I ask the petitioner if he has anything to add. So first off, the Neighborhood Design Review Committee wanted to confirm, based on the architectural drawings provided, that the new structure will be placed directly behind the existing house on the main lot. As you can see, this property consists of 2 lots, and the proposed garage looks like it would be going up on the western lot. Secondly, there's a question about the concrete driveway to be added on the north side of the to the north on the east-west alley. Currently, the alley is undeveloped, hasn't been used in a while. Is the plan to open up the alley, creating a connection between Fairview and the current north-south alley that runs between 12th and 13th? If so, will this be done in concrete or gravel, and would any trees need to be taken down? So, to show you here, the alley to the north is currently unimproved. Third, what's the elevation of the proposed structure relative to the main house? Would it be visible to somebody standing in front of the house on West 12th Street? Fourth, what is the pitch of the roof of the proposed structure relative to the main house? And 5, understanding that fiber cement is the proposed siding material, will the lap match the lap on the main house? And will the trim on the windows and doors be designed to match the main house? Suppose on that note, does the petitioner have anything that he'd like to add?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you, thank you.
Hey, thank you. Yes, thank you for having me. So with the drawings, I think I did submit the drawings where with the side plan and the entrance into the garage. Yes. So if the entrance into the garage, that should be flipped around. You should be able to. We'll be using the existing alley that already has the. That is already there. I don't know how these prints ended up with your office. So these blueprints are actually wrong. This actually has to flip around. You have to come in from the, if you come down 12th Street and then you make a right into the alley, that would be the access for the ADU.
Huh. So what you're saying, so can you see the site plan that's on the screen?
Yes, I
So
see.
are you saying that's not incorrect?
Yes, that's not the correct site plan.
All right, do you have access to a correct site plan?
Yeah, I can. I have it in my computer here. What would you like me to do? Email it to you, or what's the quickest way?
You could, if you can pull it up, you could share your screen.
Okay, just give me a second, please.
Yeah. We'd have to allow it. And let us know when you're ready, and I can stop sharing mine.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's like flipped the other way. Yeah, the stuff on the right is over on the left.
Right now, I'm allowing multiple presenters, so you should be able to share yours also.
Okay.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Took a selfie. Bait and switch.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, this is just having me share my screen.
Contact, please.
And let's see if it's in advanced.
Washout basin.
This is Fairview, right?
Is it
Yeah.
letting you under
Yeah,
host
Fairview's
tools?
over there.
No,
Mhm.
and I'm looking at advanced also.
Well, if you come off 12, then just turn
There we
right.
go, share.
He's saying this is actually there.
Who can share all the
Okay.
participants?
Yeah,
Oh, that's what it
This
says.
alley there.
Okay.
Because this alley.
Oh.
Are you ready to share your screen, sir?
Okay.
It's not.
Not yet, but I'm getting
It's like
there.
there's a little bit of crap.
Just misplaced it, but I
Mhm.
was
My
gonna.
question actually
I
has.
should
I
have
thought
it here
this
shortly.
Mhm.
Could do it or that, or if
Okay.
we wanted, we could do one at a time.
Yeah.
And
okay.
this
Well,
puts it out.
Why don't,
outside
we could do
also.
simultaneous.
Yeah.
I think that's,
I
as
mean,
long
you
as
can
it's not
still
too
see
small.
it,
And then what he'll have
But,
to do is.
yeah, it's behind it, because the lot here is empty, there's nothing there.
Yeah, right, and I can
Yeah.
share.
You went through what we went through yesterday?
I drove
This afternoon I drove by and
Mm-hmm.
went around.
This has a long, big wraparound.
Did something else go
Yeah.
around this afternoon that I missed?
Yeah, and this lot here.
I
is
drove
empty.
by it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
I was driving around it, just.
So I'm
Okay.
saying that you go
'Cause I'm
Right,
still-
but you go there.
I'm having a slight problem, but I could email it to you if it's easier.
I mean, I have my email open. I can pull it up.
All right,
Okay.
maybe we
Just
can.
give me a second. Let
Uh,
me.
All right, email that, and we have a couple of other questions which you might be able to address.
Okay.
Yeah, after you send the email, let me know when you're ready to address some questions.
Okay. Okay. What does the email say?
It's NOAH dot.
Noah?
Yeah, that's right. Actually,
Okay.
Yeah.
I have your email.
that's right. We've exchanged emails.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, I sent it.
Okay.
You should have
Thing
here.
on my phone.
Mhm.
Actually, this was a review from the, it also has some details with the review together with,
Uh-huh.
from the CPU, so.
Hmm. Okay, I see. Okay,
So you got the email already?
yes, I have it pulled up here.
Huh.
Okay.
All right. So, given this site plan, and given that the door, garage door is on the same elevation, all the other facades are sort of, they match the existing drawings that you've given us already. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. So one of the questions from the neighborhood was the siding on the house versus the siding on the garage. You're talking about a smart siding, a lap siding, LP smart siding.
Yes.
Which is a composite product. What is the exposure? Like, is it a 4-inch, a 6-inch, an 8-inch? What's the exposure of the siding on the garage?
6 inch.
And what is the exposure on the house?
It must be about, I think I was to say about 4, if I'm not wrong, 4 to 5 somewhere there. I can't,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah. But would you want me to match it, or how does it go?
We'll get back to that. One of the other questions you've already answered, according to what I have got in my packet. One of the questions was, what is the slope of the roof on the proposed garage? And your drawings say that it's a 3 and 12 slope. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then the slope of the roof on the house, are you aware of what that is? Of the existing house?
I'm not, but I would suspect maybe 8, 12, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I never checked on that.
It looks 12 to me, but that's
12.
that's just what it looks. And then the other question from the neighborhood was, do you know at what elevation, like how much higher the garage is than the existing house? I think what I'm, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're looking for a grade, right? Like how much higher is the ground that the garage is built on relative to the ground that the house is built on? Because it slopes up from the front to the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the land? The land?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It is a slight slope, but the height of the ADU, I think, is around 20 feet.
Right, but I think the question that the neighborhood was asking is like, so if the bottom of the house is, say, 10 feet up from the sidewalk, I'm just making up a number, how much higher is the bottom of the garage relative to the house? Does that make sense?
I think I got it. Probably, I'll say a foot, maybe somewhere like a foot up above ground, maybe somewhere there.
All right. You have anything else to add at this point, sir?
No, I don't have anything to add. I think everything, is. I don't see anything I'm missing, unless there's something on your end that you have to let me know. But
Gotcha.
I don't have anything to add myself.
All right. I might.
I've been working with also City of Bloomington utilities. They've been asking for quite a few other things that I've been putting together as we go. So I think I believe I'm on track.
I got you. So I think at this point I might ask the neighborhood or members of the public if they have questions or comments, and then we'll get into commissioner questions or comments. Do I have any questions from anybody online or anybody in the audience?
Yeah,
Would you say your name for the record, please?
Tom Doe. I'm from the neighborhood. On the historical committee for the neighborhood. Did we confirm that the addition is going on to the same lot as the house?
both of the both of the plans that I've received, so including this new one, show that it's located on the same lot as the house.
So the second lot will retain all of its trees, its canopy?
So far, so good, yeah. I mean, I don't know that that's, thank you, Sydney. I don't know that that's part of this.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, they don't have permission to tear anything down, but they don't have permission to do anything on that lot, given this application, if that clarifies matters.
Yes, I suppose so.
Okay. So this is only asking for permission for the lot on which the house currently
Right,
exists.
and it was not immediately clear to us whether it would be on the same lot or the second lot.
So sir, how do you say your last name, sir?
Sibindi.
Sabindi, Mr. Sabindi? So
Yes.
this is all work that's going to occur on the lot with the existing house, just to clarify?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Good, good, all right. Move on to, welcome. I'll move on to questions from the commission. Ernesto, do you have any questions?
Yes.
What?
Could you make it bigger? That's the biggest.
I mean, I could keep zooming.
Like the whole thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, do it full screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, since this is the first time we're seeing this, it's a little, I can cheat over here, but you all are.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions. I would like to have some clarity on the two separate lots. Are those combined lots? Are there separate lots? What's the situation there?
Oh, they are separate.
Okay,
It's two separate parcels.
okay. My second question is, I see that it was designed, has two full stories. Did you explore where you would do a story and a half as opposed to 2 stories?
Could you please repeat your question from the beginning? I kind of missed it.
Yeah, did you explore options where instead of designing this structure as a 2-story, you would do a story and a half instead?
When you say 2-story and the story, I'm not understanding.
Yeah, the way that this is designed is 2 full stories, meaning you build the first one and you build the second one, has a full length studs at 8-foot or 9-foot story heights for each floor. And what go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so the bottom area is just for cars and storage, and then the top part, that's where it'll be a living space.
Yes, I understand that. I think what I'm trying to get at is that the house, the main house, is a 1-story house. And it has, I think from what I can see, it has dormers as part of the
Yes.
attic space.
Yes.
Okay, so when ADUs are designed, they need to be smaller than the main house in terms of scale, because the house represents the main structure, and anything else will represent like auxiliary structures. And in this case, an ADU is one of them. So you would try to design the structure smaller than the main structure. And that's in part, from what I'm speculating here, but that's in part of the concern of the elevations, where the main house sits versus where the ADU sits, because it would be automatically taller than the main house. And then if you do 2 full stories, it becomes even larger than the main house. So that is my concern. That's all I have. I mean, we can talk about other details that staff is already addressing, like trim, siding, windows, all that is great, but I think for me, the massing is the most critical part of this discussion. That's all.
Thank you.
The what? Sorry.
The massing,
The massing, the size, the
how big
scale.
it is.
That's it. That's all I have.
All right.
To ask a question, so are you saying it's bigger than the main structure?
From what I can see, yes.
No, it's not.
So how high is
No,
the,
okay.
how high is the existing house from grade to the peak of the roof?
I would say about almost 30 feet, maybe.
How many feet?
The height.
How many feet, sir?
So,
He said 30.
30.
30
25
feet?
to 30, between 25 and 30. I'm not sure exact, but it is quite tall, the existing home.
stories.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Do you want me to come back around to you so
I'm
you
gonna
can settle in?
probably need to abstain on this one unless you need me.
Okay.
Do you have quorum?
I think we're
Yeah.
probably all right.
It says 20
Karen, do you
in the
have?
packet.
I have a question. In the packet, under, I only see it right now in this one spot, but under the Noah's paragraph, the recommendation, the first sentence says, "The existing house is approximately 20 feet tall."
That was,
That's-
so again, that's approximate because that's a measure that I did on Google Earth comparing elevation at the,
But
That's considerably shorter than 30 feet,
that's,
so.
yeah,
And we've already, and the carriage house, we know is planned
22.
to be 22, and there's at least,
Wait, my
An extra foot.
dimensions in my packet say it's, oh, that's to the, never mind, you're right. 20,
22.
no, I got 20 foot 9. I've got 20 foot 9. 17.5 and 3.4 is 20 foot 9.
Well, it's under the request, and I saw it on one of the drawings too, 22, so they're,
oh,
I'm
so in the
looking-
request, 22 is the dimension in either,
Yeah, that's the width.
Length or width.
It's a square building, it's
Oh,
22
that's
by
not the
22.
height?
yeah.
No, this
And
is
the height of the building.
oh, I see.
Is
Okay.
actually
17 and 3,
17
Oh, okay.
foot,
4 and 5.
20 foot 9 inches.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
That helps.
Did you have additional questions?
No.
Mr. Cross, do you have questions?
So there's a empty lot to the east, correct?
Yes.
When we're considering differences in height, do we consider the view from the east across the empty lot?
If it's visible from the public right of way, then we consider it.
Seems kind of unfair though. But I don't think 9 inches makes that much of a difference when you're talking about buildings 20 feet to 20 feet 9 inches. And looking from the front, it's higher up. I'm thinking line of sight, you probably won't be able to see the building at the back.
We're in questions. Do you have a question?
Oh, that was a question. Oh, will you be able to see the building from the back? It being 9 inches taller from 12th Street.
You can see it.
Really?
You can see the, yeah, you can see the building from the alley. You can see the building from the street. You can see the building from the other street.
Right, but I'm talking about massing in terms of a 9-inch difference in elevation when the lot itself is probably about 4 feet above the street. If you're looking from 12th Street
Mhm.
across the
Is that a
existing
discernible
building.
difference? Is that the question
Yes,
you're
that,
asking?
that was my clumsy way of asking that question. yes.
Gotcha, okay, thank you. I think that is a question that everybody has to have their own answer for.
Okay.
Any more questions?
No.
We'll move on to Mr. Hackett.
I don't have any questions.
Mr. Baker?
Is there anything in the neighborhood rules regarding roof pitch?
Yes.
Because there's
It's
a
right here.
big discrepancy in roof pitch here.
You have it pulled up, Jeremy?
Yeah, it says for new construction, roof size, shape, and pitch should be consistent with nearby contributing structures.
And then I think we have a problem.
Okay, so it's a 3 and 12 versus, I think the other piece of this is that the the new structures are supposed to take their cues from the existing structures on site. That's where they're supposed to take their main cues.
I have another question,
Have it.
when you're ready. Windows here, I notice, I can't quite tell what kind of windows they are in the existing house, but the windows here in the accessory structure are, give me the impression that they're very different in style, and I think that also could be a problem. Style and dimension.
Do you have a question?
Yes, is it a problem? Is it a problem
Is it a
that the windows do not seem to match?
Yeah, that's also in the guidelines. They want to.
Incompatible changes.
Yeah.
Does not keep rhythm of openings. Yeah.
All right. I think we've addressed public questions, commissioner questions. I think we can hear a motion. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Do I need to say the number of COA?
Yeah.
2603.
I move a motion to the 9, COA 4603.
Do I hear a second?
Well, second.
All right, let's talk about it. Comments? You want to talk about why?
I think I have a really big issue in terms of, you just talked about guidelines. I think there's a lot to dissect here. So I don't know if we have the time to do all that, but there's a lot of work to do in terms of massing, proportions, windows, siding. Yeah, I could keep going. That's all I have.
Okay. You want to jump in, Melody, or you want to like pass by?
Go ahead and pass by.
All right. Karen, you have comments?
I have no comment.
Bernard, you have comments?
Yeah, with regards to the roof pitch and the window sizes that Jack mentioned, I see where this might be a problem complying with the guidelines. And whereas I don't have an issue with the height of the building being 9 inches taller, that upper floor is more massive than, especially when you consider the pitch of the roof. If the pitch of the roof was in keeping with the pitch on the first building, it wouldn't stand out, but it's a lot. Is that what, a shallower pitch? And so I believe that it would be obtrusive with regards to the main building on the site. So I agree that there is some work to be done before I would feel comfortable approving this project.
Comments, Mr. Hackett?
Yeah, I agree with what Renard said, and if you look in the guidelines, there are some illustrations in there that highlight sort of here's what the fenestration needs to look like, and here's compatible pitches for roofs throughout it. So I think petitioner would need to take another swing looking at the guidelines and the design of what the ADU looks like in order for it to fully comply.
Yeah. Jack, do you have
Yes,
comments?
I agree with the comments, all the comments, and there's work to be done to get this in compliance with the neighborhood guidelines. There's quite a bit of work, I think, to be done on this redesign.
All right. I might try and distill those comments for the petitioner a little bit. I think the big issues that the commission has, and I would appreciate if people jumped in and corrected me if I'm saying things that you're not saying or don't want me to say. One of the big issues that we have is that the roof pitch of 3 and 12 that's proposed for the garage does not match the house roof pitch of 12 and 12. So to make them compatible, they're going to have to get a lot closer, and ideally they would be the same pitch. To do that, I think what Ernesto was saying, you're going to need to do a shed dormer kind of thing. So you have a 12 and 12 roof pitch, but to accommodate your second story, you're going to need to dormer out to make that happen. We would like to see the exposure of the siding on the garage match the exposure of the siding on the house. It's just nice to see it sort of compatible. And I think one thing that we haven't touched on is this is the first time all of us are seeing this second site plan. And the neighborhood has not seen this site plan at all. So I think regardless of what, what the motion was tonight, I would have been behind asking you to come back to the next meeting just to let the neighborhood look at the site plan and discuss it again. And part of that discussion, I think, and part of the concern that the neighborhood has is that all of the alleys in this surrounding your property are currently what's the word? Unimproved, thank you. So they're all grass right now.
Not the one.
Not the north-south one?
Not the one on the west side.
Not the one on the west?
It's gravel.
So that one's cool.
That one's good.
Okay, cool. Right, so that one, I can withdraw that bit. But I was just,
The one on the north.
the north, that where the original thing was.
Right.
Okay. So I think, giving the neighborhood a little bit more time to absorb the site plan would be helpful. But I think that given that what you're doing is densifying the neighborhood, I don't think this commission has any issues with that. I don't think the footprint of the building is out of scale with what we're looking for. I think the materials are fine with what we're looking for in terms of the siding. I think if you have more information on the windows, that would be helpful. And I think if you look at the proportion of the windows on the existing house and look at the windows of what you're proposing on the garage, both in terms of the proportions of the windows themselves and also just the amount of glass that you're talking about putting versus the amount of siding you're talking about putting on there. I think we would like to see a little bit more glass and windows that are a little taller and skinnier. The other piece is are the existing windows on the house, they're 1/1 or what are they? They're 1/1, so they don't have all these divided grids on the windows. So if you're trying to make it more sympathetic to the house, I'd dump all the grids. But that's, you can come back and you can do what you want and we'll talk about it then. But, to get this thing through and to make the neighborhood happy, the more you make it compatible with the existing house, the happier both the commission and the neighborhood are going to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make a lot of sense. Yes, I agree. And with the package, I forgot the name of the other package that comes with blueprints. The actual windows are single hung. So this is just an error on my end. I think we just didn't edit on the blueprints, but the right windows are actually there, the windows and the doors and the siding. So this kind of a mix-up, so
Gotcha.
I apologize.
No, that's fine. So, but what I'm trying to say, if you look at say the windows above the garage door there, they've got
yes.
Is that four little? Yeah, they've got four little panes above four little panes. On the existing house, it's just one big piece of glass over one big piece of glass, and I think that would look more like the existing house. So I would take out all the cross pieces. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
But, I think this is totally doable. I don't think it's insurmountable, but.
I think sit down with the guidelines, maybe talk to Noah about here are the types of windows that are in the house and
Yeah.
how to match them there.
Yeah.
And just make sure they kind of match up with the wording of the guidelines.
Yeah.
And that'll help quite a bit.
That will help quite a bit. The other thing I'm seeing on the elevations is they look like they're nail-on fin windows with no trim on the sides or on the top or on the bottom. There's no sill trim, and I think we in the commission and I think the neighborhood would also appreciate having trim that the size of that trim matches around the windows. So what's on the house, make it as close as you can when you put it on the garage.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, we're probably going to vote this. We're probably going to vote this down tonight, but don't take that as the end of the world. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk again then.
Yes. One question before you go, please. You mentioned the roof at dormer, so you said a 12-12 roof. So I'm not sure here if you're saying I should change this roof line to a 12-12.
So if you look at the existing house, it's got a much steeper roof, yeah? And if you change the pitch of the garage to a much steeper pitch, everybody's going to be bonking their heads on the inside of the inside of the kitchen and the bedrooms, right? So what they do generally is they make a dormer. They pop up a big portion of the roof to allow for a head height there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but the ceiling height on the second floor is actually 8 foot. So I thought that would be enough clearance.
That's,
So what do we need?
This might be a conversation for.
Yeah.
This is something that we could discuss.
Yeah.
I guess what Sam's saying is that there are ways to add that headroom while also having part of the roof be that,
That steeper
12
pitch.
over 12 pitch.
But I think Noah can talk you through that, and if Noah, if you have issues, I'm also happy to talk to you about it.
Yeah, so maintaining most of what you have here and then just redesigning the roof a bit.
All right. I think we're at the point where we can call the vote.
Okay,
Thank you for
So
your
there's-
patience, everyone.
Thank you.
Nope, hang on.
there's a motion, motion to deny COA 2603 on the floor. It's been moved and seconded. We'll take a vote. Jack Baker,
Yes.
Jeremy Hackard,
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda,
Yes.
Bernard Cross,
Yes.
Sam DeSoler,
Yes.
Melanie Dusner.
Yes.
Motion to deny passes 6-0.
All right. Thank you for coming in, and talk to Noah, and we will see you at the next one.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right. Moving on.
Okay, next item, COA 2579. 702 West Kirkwood in the Near West Side Historic District.
Is the petitioner here?
Petitioner is Jennifer Milner, who it appears is online.
Thank you.
This is, okay, background on this item. 702 West Kirkwood is a slightly altered T-plan cottage with a 5-sided L. In 2025, the owner removed 4 wood-frame double-hung windows on the front-facing L and replaced them with double-hung divided light vinyl windows topped with transom lights. Subsequently, the property owner applied in August to replace the windows with new windows of the same size as the original, but did not attend meetings to address questions following the proposal. In November 2025, a fine was paid for the outstanding violation, and a new proposal was submitted, which is the proposal that you see here. The material submitted included a copy of the COA application from March 2025 with an illustration of the windows with transoms, but with 1/1 gen weld windows as opposed to the current divided light design, along with the description of white brick mold cedar trim to match the dimensions found on other windows. Subsequently, the petitioner inquired in an email about replacing the windows with gen weld, flat casing, double hung windows at dimensions 33¼ inches by 65¼ inches, and covering the current transom windows with drywall and siding. So if I'm to understand this application, the request is for the replacement of the existing windows with 1/1 33¼ inch by 65¼ inch vinyl windows, and covering the transoms with white cedar brick molding to be installed as trim. I see the petitioner is present. Is there anything that she'd like to add or discuss?
Nope.
All right. No, just for my own clarification, this is an NOV, notice violation. There are fines that have been paid, but we're still treating this as a violation.
Right.
And these were original windows that were removed And there has been subsequent work done after the violation, is that fair to say?
That's what it looks like. One of the transoms that it's been installed has been covered up, which is part of this proposal here, to cover those transoms and change the overall dimensions of the window openings.
And so the proposed windows are different than in size than the originals?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I will, at this point, I'll ask for comments. Do we have anything from the neighborhood first?
I haven't received anything new from the neighborhood on this.
Okay, do we have anything from the public? Nobody online?
Nobody's
Nobody here?
raising their hand.
All right, thank you. I will entertain questions from the commissioners. Jack?
My question is, how does this in any way get back to the original design of the house? It's just completely wrong, in my opinion. It just does not, I don't know how to say it exactly, I'm kind of formulating. I don't think that this meets with the original design of the house, and I think it needs to. I don't know how, what we have here, how we can judge this and decide what's should be done, except to, say, replace with the original style window.
Do you have questions, Jeremy?
I think you asked mine. So these are, the replacement windows that they're suggesting are smaller than the ones that were originally removed.
Right.
And work has already been done on one of them for what was proposed in the thing that we're looking at now,
believe so.
without it being approved.
Mhm.
Okay, that's it.
I don't have any questions.
No, do you have questions?
No.
Do you have questions, Ernesto?
No, I do not.
So I guess the only question that I have is, and this might be for Noah or for the petitioner, I'll start with Noah. How many of the original windows were moved? How many of them have been replaced? And then on the first go round, and then how many of them are replaced after the NOV?
I believe it was 5 windows, and what you see currently installed in this picture were the replacement windows with transoms that were put in when the commission first saw this item. The latest that I have seen, it looks like only one of these windows has had the transom covered with trim, or with siding, sorry.
Okay. All right. I will.
Sam, before you move on, I just have this thought of a question for the petitioner, if I may. For the petitioner, could you explain to me what the difficulty is that you're having replacing the windows with the original windows, or similar replacement windows?
Okay, so what happened was we took the old windows out and then they put in the transom and the bottom ones. You guys did not approve that design. So we were just trying to do this one, the one that we're looking at, to see if that will meet your guidelines. Because as Noah, I don't know if he's included any of this, I sent him several photos of similar things in the neighborhood that looked similar.
These are the divided light windows.
As far as fitting with the neighborhood, and as you know, the guidelines are very vague. It just said, put it back the way it was. Well, here's the thing, when they built the transoms, they cut into you know, further than what the originals were. I guess you don't have pictures of what they looked like before we took them out, or I mean, I
We
gave you
do.
to know. And so we had the idea of covering up the transom, putting the trim in, so you could see what we were going for, and see if that meets your guidelines.
Right, but let me ask a more specific question. The original windows are 30-inch by 77-inch windows, correct?
30 by 70, I don't have it right in front of me, but they were bigger old windows that were not original.
Right,
They're
and
not original to that structure.
I'm assuming you don't have the windows that you removed.
They might be around back that we
Oh.
took out.
Okay, so explain to me what is the difficulty if you have the windows, why not just put them back in?
Because they're single pane and we changed them because the heating bills over there are terrible. And they were
Oh.
rotting, they were old. We
Okay.
had no idea, which was on us, that it was considered historic, which I now know that you have to study that before you do anything.
Okay,
But, so, that's as simple as it, from where we're coming from,
right.
why any of this happened.
Are these old windows repairable?
I don't know because I'm not a construction person, to be honest. I don't know.
Okay,
This
and
was what our friends who are in construction said, I have these windows, here, let's do this, let's replace them, and that's what we did.
right, and have you checked on the market to see if there are windows that are similar in size and appearance to the ones that you removed that may have the qualities
Okay.
that you're seeking to get for these replacement windows?
We've done some research, but I guess it comes back to, we're trying to do what you guys are asking us to do, but it still it just seems so vague.
Okay, but
So, go ahead.
I believe that what we're requiring has been made very, very clear, certainly over the past few interactions we've had with you. So what is vague about replacing the windows with windows of a similar type, of a similar dimension, which is in keeping with the guidelines? What's
Right.
vague? What don't you understand?
Because I guess what I don't understand is you wanted us to put the exact windows back in and redo. You don't like the transoms, you didn't like the trim, so you wanted them to look exactly the way they did before.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, see, yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do.
Okay.
We wanted to put this in and see if this would, you know, work, even though there's grids on that same building, but if this is what needs to happen, then this is what we'll do.
Which way we're going? Going that way? Going that way?
Oh, we stopped with you.
Oh. Yeah, we went back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't have questions. Guess we can, Jack, you have questions?
I do have.
You have a motion. You have a question? You have a motion?
I have just a couple of questions, a minute more. Do we have any idea when these tall windows were installed in this house? Do we have any idea of what the house looked like originally with its first set of windows?
So I don't have pictures of the house from older than 2001. You know, these are wood windows, and Jennifer's right, they were pretty old. I would hazard to guess that if they were replaced a long time ago. Certainly, I checked, and you can find windows that are approximately these dimensions, made with newer materials. But it is, it would be pretty unusual in anything like post-Victorian. So my hunch is that these windows, the windows that were in place before, were either original or very close to what was originally there.
Thank you.
Also, just considering, like I mentioned, the age that we saw on them, they did have rotting sills.
And I mean, the proportionality of the windows is, it's consistent with the type and the age of the house.
Good
So-
information, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the guidelines don't actually talk about materiality, they talk a lot about proportion and that sort of thing, but, all right. I think we are up to motion making.
Appropriate motion would be to deny, yes?
Well, yeah. COA 2570.
Okay, so I'll make the motion. Move to deny COA 25-79.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Let's talk about it. I think clarity here is we're looking for, and strike me down if I'm misspeaking again, we're looking for the windows that fit the existing openings that were there before this whole process started. In all of the windows they were 1/1s, yeah?
Mhm.
So no grids, top or bottom, just a double hung window. You could even do a single hung window because they look the same, with matching trim. That's what we're looking for. So when you come back before us, that's what we'll expect. And if you want to get it past the commission at this point, that's what we need to see. The guidelines don't talk about the materiality of the window in this district. So, whatever type of window, we always love wood windows, but they're expensive, so we understand that you might not want to do that. But windows that are double hung that fit the existing rough openings in the house with trim that matches the original trim, that's what we're looking for. We have other comments?
Basically the same size as the windows that were removed.
Yes.
I have
Karen.
a comment. I just want to make sure that you understand that the best way to get our approval and to submit what you're planning to do is to give us plans ahead of time. Don't try something out and say, you mean like this. Do it on paper, clearly and fully.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good comment.
Any other comments, Melody?
Well, I share Karen's concern.
Yeah. Remember?
No comments.
Ernesto? Okay, we can call the roll.
Okay, so there's a motion to deny 2579. It's been seconded. We'll take a vote. Jack Baker.
Yes.
Jeremy Hacker.
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda.
Yes.
Bernard Cross.
Yes.
Sam DeSoler.
Yes.
Melanie Dusner.
Yes.
Motion to deny is approved 6-0.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. The demolition delay?
All right. Next item we have is demolition delay. Apparently the petitioner is online, Matt Ellenwood. This is technically the last demolition delay of 2025, so it's running pretty close up to its deadline. This is DD 2526 for 102 South Clark. Petitioner is Matt Ellenwood. And this is a circa 1950 slightly altered minimal ranch. Built in 1955, 102 South Clark is a slightly altered minimal ranch. The first residents appear in the Bloomington City Directory are William and V. Jean Fleetwood, owners of a plumbing business. William had served in the Navy during both World War II and the Korean War. The couple moved out in 1963, and the house passed through a series of renters, most of whom were married couples who stayed between 1 and 2 years. From 1971 through 1972, the house was occupied by the family of Thomas Schwen, a professor in the School of Education, and his wife Emily. During their time at 102 South Clark, Emily gave birth to their daughter Missy, a two-time Olympic medal winner in rowing. The request is for full demolition. Staff recommends the release of DD 2526. Is the petitioner present, and do they have anything to comment?
He is online. I'm having trouble showing, but he is here and he is unmuted.
Yep. What it says, 102 South Clark on mine. I think there's a discrepancy.
Wait
in
a
the
second.
Address on that.
Oh no, okay. It is 102 South Clark.
Not
Yeah.
503
I'm sorry, it
North
is not
Rogers.
503 North
503
Rogers.
is.
That was the,
Demolition?
actually, that's gonna come up later. That was the scrapyard.
Yeah, so can we clarify the address
Yeah.
on this really quick?
It's
Sorry.
102
This
South
would be a
Clark.
demolition delay
Mhm.
for 102 South Clark.
Thank you.
And the petitioner, Matt Ellenwood, is online virtually. Can you hear us, Matt?
I'm not seeing him anywhere.
He's on the screen that I can see. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to get him on this one.
Has he been unmuted?
He is unmuted,
Okay.
and I will chat with him.
Okay, this is.
Mhm.
This is in the Green Acres
Yeah,
neighborhood.
that's what I was thinking,
Mhm.
but then when I was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
Oh, this is like an R.
Matt is saying he can't seem to get his audio to work.
Okay.
He's connecting right now.
Well, he technically doesn't.
Yeah, if he's got anything to add, he can type it in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Nothing to
He
add.
said nothing to add.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have comments or questions from the public? Anyone else online? Questions from Commissioners Jack, Jeremy,
No.
Renard,
No.
Karen, Melody, Ernesto? I have no questions. I will entertain a motion.
I'll move to release DD 2526.
I have a second.
Second.
Let's talk about it. Any comments, Jack?
No.
Jeremy, comments?
No.
Bernard? Karen? Melody? Ernesto? No comments? We got a vote.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor. Again, this is for 102 South Clark. Moved and seconded. A yes vote would be to release Jack Baker,
Yes.
Jeremy Hackard,
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda,
Yes.
Reynard Cross,
Yes.
Sam DeSoler,
Yes.
Melanie Dusner.
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
Could you read the thing?
Today, regarding the property located at 102 South Clark, the Historic Preservation Commission declares that it got notice of the proposed demolition, and after today's discussion sees no need to review the plans any further and waives the rest of the demolition delay waiting period. The HPC may later recommend the property for historic designation to the Common Council.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
All right. Moving on, we have one more new demolition delay for today, DD 2601. This is for 809 North Walnut Street. Petitioner is Ernest G. This request is for full demolition. Built in 1940.
Is the petitioner here?
Is the petitioner here?
We have a Todd Sackstetter online
Hi.
and a Eric that hasn't responded.
If you, either of you that are online, if you're here for this petition, would you raise your hand?
I do not see any
Okay.
hands being raised.
All right.
All right.
And no, he's here from the public for this petition, right?
Yes.
You're here? I mean, to represent the petition.
No, Todd
No.
Saxeter is the guy though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've asked him to unmute, and also, he has
Am I-
unmuted.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm here for it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Would you, pray continue?
Sure. Built in 1940, 809 North Walnut is a two-story, wait, I wrote brick, it's not brick, it's limestone. A two-story limestone Tudor revival house / commercial building with a two-story vinyl sided addition and a ground floor storefront facing the south parking lot. For most of the building's history, it was mixed commercial residential. From the 1960s through the early 2000s, it was home to Edward and Marjorie Ryan, who operated Ryan's Barbershop on the ground floor. The Ryans rented to other commercial tenants, including a real estate and insurance office. Edwards worked as a barber from the time he was decommissioned from the military in 1945 until his death in 2008. The request is for full demolition. Does the petitioner have anything that he would like to add?
No. That's it. All right. I think I will move on to comments or questions from the public. Do people, if you would state your name for the record and.
My name's James Ford. I live in Cottage Grove, across the street from this house. I'm here to just fill in some of the history of this house that has been not mentioned yet. William Henry Hunter was born in 1881. He completed the 4th grade. He is buried in Valhalla Cemetery. In 1905, he married Margaret Ratliff. These are 2 Bloomington families. He was a mason. He was a contractor. He became somewhat successful. In 1910, he was living on 13th Street, in 1916 on Walnut Grove, 1930 on Fee Lane, north of 17th. In 1940, he decided, when he was 60 years old, he decided to build this house for his wife and his family. He was employed at the Public Works Administration, the PWA at the time. This house has currently 7 gables. It's a house of 7 gables. It's possible that it had 9 originally, 2 in the front, 1 in the back, and 3 on each side, and it was likely symmetrical at that point. It's a storybook house, or was originally, all stone, Tudor revival, and it might have been the last one that was built in Bloomington prior to World War II. Because in 1941, our country was attacked by an empire that wanted to dominate the world, and we responded and we defeated them, but the world was never the same after that, and this kind of house would never have been built after World War II. Mr. Hunter was unable to work after 1950, and he died in 1957, a year after his wife. The house was then lived in by Professor Messick from the business school for a couple years, and then a guy who worked at Crane. And it was in 1960 that Edward Ryan decided to buy the house. He moved his barber shop, which was at 1010 North Walnut, to the basement of the house, and he moved his residence, which was at 1111 North Indiana, to the upstairs. He added the shop at the bottom by gutting the front yard. He added the addition on the south side and lived in there. He did a lot of damage to this house. Eventually it was sold to Jeff Jones of Pendragon, who neglected it while he rented it out, and it fell into disrepair. And now it's been sold to the present petitioner. The house is going to be destroyed now by people who are not from Bloomington, they're from outside, and it's going to be replaced likely by another boring box that these people are building around the neighborhood. We're not interested, people are not interested in the history or the architecture of the neighborhood. Instead, they're interested in real estate as a business. This is like a cancer that's spreading through our neighborhood, but unlike World War II, it's been a very slow, progressive, insidious growth through the neighborhood. And it's going to end up creating just a field of piles of stones. When this is demolished, this will be yet another pile of stone. And in Mandarin, that would be Chan Lei. And that's all I have to say about this house.
Thank you. Is anyone else from the neighborhood or the public to speak to this?
I would like to speak to this as well. My name's John Butler. Officially, this is across the street from the proposed Cottage Grove Conservation District. So we're not officially opposing it, but we're sad to see it go, and we're
disappointed that it will, you know, it's not going to be replaced with something nearly as interesting, so.
Thank you.
I'm Amy Butler, also wanted to say that I'm just sad to see yet another really cool house with a really interesting history that's gonna get torn down again and replaced, or torn down and get replaced by something that is very much less interesting and doesn't have nearly the cool historical ties to our city. But I know that your hands are tied on this, but I just wanted to voice my opinion. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is anyone online? All right. Questions?
I have no questions.
Jeremy?
Which part is the addition on this house?
You can make it out. I'm sorry, the screen is pretty small, what's being shared, but
On the
you can see
south.
behind the tree.
On the south side of the
Yeah.
left.
Oh,
I've got a good view on
Jeremy.
Google Docs that I can
Jeremy.
show you.
Oh, that's right, that is.
Oh, gosh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge bit of vinyl.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really, unless you're standing at the south end, there isn't really a public view that shows it well, but it's.
Do you know when the addition was put on there?
It was put on by Edward and Marjorie Ryan. I'm not sure exactly when. Before the 2000s.
But, like,
Somewhere between
Pretty much,
1960 and
Between
2000.
significantly
Like
after it was
1800s.
built?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably the 1990s would be my guess.
Okay.
Any more questions?
No.
Bernard, questions?
I'd like to get a sense of what it is that you, how would this house, how would you describe the significance of the house? Would it be in its architecture? So that would be the case that you would make if you were trying to prevent this thing from being torn down, this house from being torn down. And what is it about the architecture? Describe for me, how is it that the architecture is unique to the, by definition, by the criteria established in the guidelines that would justify its protection?
We continue.
Yes, yes.
Okay, again, my name's James Ford, and when you say guidelines, are you referring to a neighborhood guidelines?
No, I'm referring to the, let's
The
just say we
UDO,
were
you're
supposed to
referring
make a case.
To the UDO.
Right.
So, I am not an architect, I'm not a specialist in historical architecture, but I don't see many houses with this pitch, with this complexity of the roof line, with this careful detail to the stonework and masonry, which maybe only a mason would do to his own house, which is what happened here. It is in an odd place now, especially there's been growth all around it, so it is isolated. If it were my ideal world, it would be moved. It would be saved but moved, because this location is a difficult place for this house today. But I guess, and there's a lot of problems with the house. The windows are all replaced, so there's nothing to preserve there. The so-called addition on the south side is not really an addition, it's more of an enclosure, because the original house may very well still be in there somewhere. I've never been inside the house, so I don't know currently the layout. It just looks, it looks so unique to me for our neighborhood, for the area, that it seems like it should be preserved. I know of one house similar to it on South Washington, made out of brick, and then I know another house on North Washington made of brick. I don't know any of them made out of limestone. And this is 100% limestone. It's not just the front facing here, it's all around the house.
No, is there anything that you discovered in your research that is in keeping with, I'm sorry,
James Ford.
James's definition that could possibly
In terms of
be
architectural
considered?
significance?
Yes.
There are a few other examples of Tudor Revival limestone houses in Bloomington. The other ones are more sort of standard, what you'd see, gable front with a sloping roof, I can think of a couple on Maxwell Lane
Mhm.
from the 1920s, so this is a little late. It's also a little unusual in that it's clearly sort of not clearly, but it's probably not architect design, it's probably craftsman designed. It's, you know, it definitely has an eclectic look. There aren't a lot of Tudor Revival houses in Bloomington, but this one is not alone.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I see your recommendation is to release it. Is
Mhm.
it that you couldn't find anything, just to
Mhm.
get a clear statement from you, that
Sure.
in your opinion, there's
Mhm.
nothing unique about this house that would substantiate or support?
So I guess my rationale, looking at the history of the house, I had a hard time picking out any sort of clear significance to the history of Bloomington beyond the immediate impact of the business located here. In terms of its architecture, I think if it had a higher degree of integrity, it would absolutely be eligible. I think the storefront that was added, you know, it does add a little more context, but like, it does hurt the original architectural integrity of the Tudor Revival house. All the windows have been replaced. The rear addition, I don't think that's as much of an issue for me, but I'd say even though it's clearly, you know, an interesting building, a lot of its sort of architectural integrity has been compromised. So I think it would be a little harder, in my opinion, to make an architectural case for designating it.
And we don't think that the addition on the side there, like, I don't know what the precedent is for looking at a building like this and saying, okay, well, if that was simply not there, we think that anything would be restored. Like, can you not?
I don't know whether it could be restored. You know, this addition was taken off. Like Mr. Ford said, I don't know what's under there. Honestly, the addition on the side, I don't think is much of an issue in terms of compromising the integrity. A lot of buildings that are on the National Register of Historic Places have additions that were added either after the period of significance or after they've been designated. So unless there's something really significant that we're missing that was taken away for that addition, that isn't so much it for me. It's really more the overall effect of all the other replacements on the house and, you know, the alterations for those sort of added storefronts.
You done with questions or not?
Yes, yes.
Karen, did you have questions?
No questions.
Do you have additional questions?
I ask out of turn.
That's okay. We'll get there. Questions? All right, I have no questions. I will entertain a motion.
I'll move to release DD 2601.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, comments? Jack, comments?
No.
Jeremy?
I think Noah explained his rationale pretty well. It's listed as a contributing building. I think the historical context, we can't make an argument in that area either. Given those two factors, I think we need to release it.
I agree that it's cool, but apparently cool isn't a criterion that can be used. So, there you go.
Karen?
It makes it tough, but I think that's the right call.
Melody? Yeah, I concur with Jack and Jeremy. Should you call the roll?
Yes, so this would be on demolition delay 2601, which has been motioned and seconded. We'll go ahead and vote. Jack Baker,
Yes.
Jeremy Hackert,
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda.
Yes.
Renard Cross.
Yes.
Sam DeSoler.
Yes.
Melody Dusner.
Yes.
And that passes 6-0.
you read the thing?
Today regarding the property located at 809 North Walnut, the Historic Preservation Commission declares that it got notice of proposed demolition, and after today's discussion sees no need to review the plans any further and waives the rest of the demolition delay waiting period. HPC may later recommend the property for historic designation to the Common Council.
Good. I'd like to thank the petitioner for coming in and also the residents of Cottage Grove for showing up. I appreciate that.
Moving on to old business, there are a few items I'd like to address. There's also some things I think we should just discuss that can go under new business that are not in the agenda but have been popping around, sort of new things since this was put together. Anyway, I included in your packet this evening a report from the developers of 503 North Rogers. In case you're wondering why that address was on one of the demolition delays, you may remember that item came up at our last meeting. There were some questions about a limestone loading dock from the site's previous use as a, what do you call it, cutting mill, limestone mill. The petitioners, although we weren't able to meet between the time that this structural engineer's report was produced and when it was and when the demolition delay was automatically released, they wanted me to show it to you to demonstrate, you know, one, what the integrity of the structure looked like, and then two, what it might possibly take to preserve part of it. The takeaway in short from the structural engineer is that it would be difficult to move the entire structure, which was, you know, that was sort of the best case scenario because there's something else that they needed to put in, some utilities and access for, I think, emergencies into the Beeline Trail, where this is currently located on the site. They did propose, however, that they might be able to save the lower part of some of the bays if they were to relocate larger, more complete sections. There's a concern for public safety if anybody was, you know, regularly engaging with it or was going to be passing close by. What I've not received yet is any sort of idea of where the structure might be relocated on the site. I've seen a couple of proposed locations in meetings. One would be within this property, sort of located further to the north, close to the Beeline Trail, which I guess, as you'd all know, used to be the Monon Railway, which is part of the railroad significance to this loading structure. The other location that they were gunning for, at least in my meeting with them and with the planning department, would be on city parkland adjacent to the Beeline Trail. Mm-hmm. People from the Parks Department haven't heard anything about this proposal. It sounds like, yeah.
But it's on your mind.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Obviously, that's what the petitioner would have preferred because it would mean taking up less of their own property. So they're still going through the process with, I don't know what commissions they have left to go to now, but a few other boards, because it's a fairly big project and there's a lot of things that are going to have to get worked out with our associates and other boards and commissions. So I'll be interested to see where this fits into that discussion. I think the next date that they're going to be coming before any commission is going to be in April, so it might be a while before I get any answers for you guys. But, you know, read through at your leisure. At least we received it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I also wanted to go through some of the points that we discussed at last year's commission retreat, so thank you to everybody who was able to come to that. One of the big points was how we handle violations and whether they could be handled differently from other COA applications in cases where a petitioner wants to come back and retroactively apply for approval. Part of the reason why we thought it might be difficult to change the timeline for this would be because COAs often sort of align with other permits that are received either from the county or from the city. So if a 2-year timeline is changed for historic preservation approval, that might, people in planning might not remember that when it comes time to, approve some sort of, I don't know, something on their end. So, I mean, I agree that it would be cool if we could find a way to make this work, to have more variable timeframes for approval for corrections to violations, but I'm just not sure that would work. And correct me if you have any other ideas, Anna, but I mean, this is something that we discussed.
I'm sorry to butt in, but I'm curious as to why these things are joined to other permitting processes and why they cannot be independent processes. We're a separate commission. We have our own authority. We are under the umbrella of hand. That said, it's going to take as long as it's going to take to get this stuff done. And I think the 2-year COA in terms of violations is arbitrary. It could be much shorter. It could be much longer. It depends on how the petitioner responds.
Well, and could that also just be a separate tracking form that, whoever's in your position is able to keep a track of and then be liaising with whatever these other permitting departments are, to be like, hey, there's this time period that's coming up short, just a way to make that work.
So as you guys know, the 2-year time frame, that is in our rules and procedures, so it's not a statutory thing. We could see about changing rules and procedures, which requires like a 2/3 majority vote. There could be some way to keep track of it, but it couldn't be a separate process or a separate a separate certificate from a certificate of appropriateness, because that's what is provided for in the state statute.
So that is the only way we can enforce anything is through COAs, is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, we could, enforce with fines or liens.
I still don't understand.
I guess I was saying about a suggestion that was brought up at the commission meeting for issuing COAs for less than 2 years for some variable length of time for violations.
So based on that, could we not then vote to amend our own bylines for COAs that are dealing with violations, that we can make them shorter periods?
I believe we could.
Or even violations apart from COAs. I look at them as two very distinctly different tracks, because a violation can happen regardless of whether there's an application for a certificate of appropriateness or not.
So I think maybe we write up something, if maybe we could share it with everybody, take a look at it, mold a little bit and see if we could get a vote on it, if people are interested in pursuing that.
Yeah, and the other caveat here is we need a full slate of commissioners, I think, in good faith to move forward on most anything that we're talking about here.
I would agree with that.
And now that you brought that up, is there anything in motion to make that happen?
That's not my department, sadly.
Well, that's
next item on here. Just information. I wasn't.
Yeah, let's let Will get through his commission thing. Sorry.
Sure. So I'm going to be honest, I haven't heard about any new appointments. That's something I want to talk with Sydney about. Obviously, so aside from serving as commission liaison, which is a new position for her, she's on the interview committee for that handles HBC appointments. However, because she doesn't work for the mayor's office, she works for city council. she's, for the most part, unless the mayor's office starts nominating more people for voting positions, she's mostly handling the non-voting positions. So, I mean, this issue that we've been having, it's not for a lack of applications, because I think we have enough qualified applicants on board right now to, you know, fill all the positions that we need filled. The next regular city council meeting is on February 4th, I believe. I haven't heard anything, and I would hear from the mayor's office if somebody was being recommended, but they haven't reached out to me about anyone.
Would it help for us to all write into the mayor's office to recommend
Sure.
movement on these?
I mean-
I've written individually recommending approval of some of the applications I know have gone in, but it might be maybe more forceful if all of us do it, or if we do.
We could
maybe
make a
one letter
motion to
together.
request.
Yeah, I mean, if we do a letter from the commission.
Yeah, I mean, we could make a formal motion from the commission to request that these vacancies be filled within the next 30 days.
Yeah,
Or
because-
some, you know, because we're in trouble. And I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. So every time I do get a new application, I write to both the person in the clerk's office and the person in the mayor's office who handles recommendations to the mayor and to council. So, plus a couple of reminders that Jeremy and I have, maybe some other people have sent off over the course of the last year, so.
I've written a couple of recommendations, and
I mean, legally,
yeah, it's
there's, I mean, it states that the mayor is supposed to fill a vacancy within what, 30 days, 60 days?
90 days.
90 days. And the last one was Elizabeth, which was at the end of September. So that's.
August, actually.
Oh, August.
And then we had another one that's been open for about a year.
And then technically there's two people who are continuing to serve on this commission right now for 90 days until they're either reappointed or somebody else is appointed into their position. So.
And I actually haven't met our most recent appointee yet.
Drew?
Who is that?
Drew Aaron.
Is he a voting member?
No.
No.
He had attended a couple of meetings last year.
How many commissioners are regularly absent
From this commission or from commissions in general?
from this?
I remember when I started, we either had one or no openings. So there's been a lot of attrition.
But I mean, people that have been appointed or are supposed to be active now but don't show.
Don't show.
Don't show regularly. I don't know, I'm really asking.
There's supposed to be like a 3 in a row, you know, like kind of a 3 strikes
Right.
rule. If you don't show up 3
Well,
times in
that's
a row,
what
they.
I was getting
Yeah.
at, that,
Yeah.
that can be instituted.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, part of the difficulty about instituting that right now, at least for me, is I haven't seen any indication that any new appointees are being reviewed. And I'm concerned that if I start kicking people off the commission at this point, we could get to a situation where we literally don't have a quorum of people who are serving on the commission.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think anybody here today has missed 3 consecutive meetings over the course of the past year. I might be wrong.
I've actually come to some that.
You've tried.
Just every maker just come to non-existent.
All right, so.
I know we have had that issue in the past, and there were people who I did not boot off the commission.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we move ahead and write that letter to?
Do you want to make a motion to have the commission write a letter?
I suggest somebody makes the motion to write a letter and have a deadline, 30 days, fill out those positions.
Are we
This
gonna
is an urgent matter, isn't it?
Is that letter going to recommend individuals or just recommend that they be filled?
I want bodies. I mean, I don't think that's something that we can necessarily influence one way or the other, or should influence one way or the other. You know, I have my favorite people, and you have your favorite people, and they might be different
All
people.
my favorite people are here.
You want cookies, I know you.
So-
But we just need applicants. We need commissioners.
And my,
Jeremy.
if I may just.
Sorry.
Is there any teeth you write a letter and, well, firstly, it's my understanding that 90 days have passed for a couple at least, and what? Is there a next step that can be taken if they aren't filled? And two, if we write the letter and nothing happens, and those are just questions.
I mean, worst case scenario is we get to March and
we shut down.
2 members of the commission who are currently just showing up on good faith are
That's
no
our
longer
favorite
legally
right here.
allowed to vote, and so we won't make quorum. That's my understanding.
And then everything just goes through.
Everything stops.
Just ages out until they get quorum. All the COAs.
Yeah, so we've basically got through the end of March before we have to see something. And we've been begging for this for a long time, but anything that we can do, I think we should do. And I think that a formal letter requesting that the mayor's office fill these vacancies within 30 days is not unreasonable.
No, I agree. I was just asking.
Yeah,
the
what happens next?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mayors and city council.
Well, the mayor has to nominate them, and the city council has to approve them. And so all I'm asking is for the mayor to, do some nominations to submit to the city council to fill the slate. And then the city council will do what the city council does. But we have to have at least, start down the road.
No,
We can write letters to the city council too.
Is February 4th the time when city council makes those voting motions based on recommendations?
I believe that's the next city council meeting. That's
It
when
is?
they have to vote on
Anna?
There's a
appointees.
section on the council. Maybe I don't have my phone. There's a section on the council agenda at each of their voting meetings that is a place for nominations and approval of board and commission members. So it could come at any council meeting. The 4th is the next one.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
how far ahead of that meeting does the mayor's office need to get that information to the council? Do we know?
I don't know on board and commission nominations.
Okay.
I don't know the answer
Thank
to
you.
that.
I think the bottom line is that we need to send that letter as soon as we can so that it gets in line with deadlines. Otherwise, we're gonna be off track.
Well,
Would we say the letter would be to, we strongly recommend that the mayor submit nominations for consideration by the city council for the February 4th meeting?
Yeah, just push for that date.
And
I'd have no qualms with that.
And then I would also suggest the letter should come not from Noah, from the commission, Sam as the chair,
Yeah.
I think, because
And
I
if
think
we
it
all
puts.
vote and approve, I'll sign on our behalf.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think it would put Noah in a weird position.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think it needs to come from Sam as
No,
the,
no,
as
oh,
the
from
chair.
Sam, yes,
Yeah.
I agree, and I agree to what Sam said, that we vote, he represents us, and that's it.
Well, I'm just, that's a good question, because I'm now not really,
No, you are.
I'm the chair for this particular meeting,
But if we
but it might be better for
move a
us all to
motion
sign it,
in
but.
this meeting,
I'd be good with us all signing.
Yeah,
it.
same,
Okay.
same, doesn't matter.
I'm good
You
with
just
it.
need to send it.
I'm just saying I don't think it comes from
I
Noah.
hear that, I concur.
All right, so
Make a motion to send a letter to the office of the mayor, Peter's office, to request nominations for city council on a hearing dated February 4th.
Good forward.
Before, yes.
I second that.
All right, and then we could just, for the record, so I accurately have that motion. Ernesto, you said you're making a motion to send a letter to the mayor's office requesting, I heard a strongly recommend, was it?
Compel.
Yeah.
Send a letter to the mayor's office requesting that the vacancies, or that they make recommendations to fill the vacancies.
I think
For
she
the
has to,
Historic Preservation Commission to the Common Council before the February 4th meeting.
Yeah, before the February.
are they
4th.
technically nominations?
Or would it be in time for it to be considered at the February 4th meeting, whatever that lead time is, that we don't know?
Yeah, I think that would.
Could possibly have passed already, so.
Potentially, yeah.
I think we're not having to worry about that too much. We just write a letter and
Yeah.
get it out there, and it's out there, and we've done what we can do. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yeah, Renard did.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded that the commission jointly write a letter to the mayor's office making that request. We'll go ahead and take a vote. Jack Baker,
Yes?
Jeremy Hackard,
Yes.
Ernesto Castaneda,
Yes.
Renard Cross,
Yes.
Sam DeSoler,
Yes.
Melanie Dusner.
Yes.
That motion passes 6-0.
I'll see if I can write something up, and I'll run it by everybody, and everybody should, chime in, and then we'll circulate it for signatures.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be super long, just
No.
straight to the point.
Nominate, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do this. No.
Maybe not.
What else you got? No.
Okay.
Not if you will.
As far as issues from the retreat go, there is language in our code about maintenance standards, and at what point the commission can step in, which is basically, which is to say that historic buildings should be maintained to meet applicable requirements established under state statute for buildings generally. It's a conversation I can have with my coworkers in hand, because that is what they work with for the most part. But also more specifically to us, to prevent the loss of historic material and the deterioration of important character-defining details and features. I don't think that shows up too much when we see buildings decay. I got a call from another CLG in the state where this is happening with them, so I just happened to be looking into it today. And our code calls it out, whereas I'm not sure that theirs does. Anyway, it's just... Okay.
So is the idea to set forth a procedure? Is that what you're saying?
I guess what I'm saying is at a certain point, you have to consider whether,
There's something.
a certain amount of decay is going to constitute a violation.
Yeah, there's something in our guidelines. I think there's a 3 or 4 step procedure that's in there. So I don't know if you might want to take a look at that or not, but there's a whole thing of we get a notice of it, we have a meeting about it, and then I think it's something we would vote to say yes, that there's this basically demolition by neglect, and then we forward that recommendation on to, I think, the lawyers for potential fine, or city staff for potential fine. I think there's some kind of process in there. So.
Yep, you're right. So it's Article 7 of the Rules and Procedures on Maintenance, and you're right, it does have exactly those steps. That upon presentation of supporting evidence, the commission can act by going through this analysis, giving notice of 21-day notice to the property owner, and then determining whether that condition constitutes a threat to the historic fabric of the building, and then forward it to the legal department to take action if a violation is warranted.
So you see something falling down?
Right.
So we can act on it.
We can, and we should, and that's something that historically we have been not very good at.
Well, and some of that is just people letting us know we can't see all the buildings everywhere.
Yeah, that's fair.
So another thing I want to bring up while everybody's here is we have an application for the Cottage Grove Historic District. With, I guess, the begrudging assent of some of the applicants, it was not included in tonight's meeting. Part of the reasoning for that is, one, because it's still around the holidays, kind of. I wanted to make sure we had a quorum, so I'm not sending out notices to property owners, so many days in advance, and then having to cancel late. So again, there's no real guarantee that we'll meet when we're supposed to meet next month. I hope we do. Also, we don't have, chair and vice chair for this year yet. I don't know when that's going to happen because we're kind of waiting on having a fuller slate of commissioners. So I think this vote has to happen sooner rather than later, and I would like to bring it up on the next agenda. Is that something that the petitioners are good with?
Sounds great to us.
I mean, that's my rationale for not putting it on this meeting. I just thought it would have been a lot to take on, and there would also be a risk of, having to start over again with it, so.
So putting it on the agenda for the next time around, we're just kind of hearing it for the first time in terms of the process and everything like that. We're getting it started with us.
Yeah. Also, this is something that I learned about earlier this week, is a set of changes to accessibility standards. This actually comes from federal legislation, and it's going to have a significant impact on what our packets look like. So, long story short, there's not going to be a packet anymore. Let me describe that to you. There's still going to be agendas. The agenda is going to link to a folder that's shared online, that's publicly accessible. That's going to have each of those items individually, each of the items for a meeting individually sorted into their own folders. Sort of what's ironic about it is there's no requirement that materials that are submitted by third parties are made accessible themselves. So functionally what that's going to look like is there's going to be a lot of links to inaccessible documents rather than a packet that's made more accessible. But anyway, that's legally how it's going to work. So
it's an improvement then.
yeah. So for all of you, that means bring in a device that has access to the internet, because as we go through items, you're going to have to access all of the recommendations and photos and plans and other files that are submitted online in these folders. So we don't have to implement this until April 24th. But I'd like to roll it out before then so we can get in the habit of doing that.
So, has a prolonging this meeting before? Why? What problem is this trying to solve?
So, basically the accessibility guidelines are to make agendas readable by e-readers for people who are visually impaired. There's some boards and commissions that this can work really well for, because a lot of what our commission deals with is visual. That's a lot more complicated, especially considering the fact that, like I mentioned, third-party items don't have to be made accessible, and we have a whole lot of them. So, if for some of the stuff that we have that's text-based, like our minutes and our agenda, it'll make it so that it's easier for those to be read by e-readers. But just the way that our packets are laid out and have to be laid out, in my opinion, it doesn't work as well for making it navigable for most of the people who attend our meetings.
One of the things about the packet is that it flows in a somewhat logical sense. So is it that you're going to have the agenda and then once it's called up, we have to click through individual documents that might not be listed in a logical sequence? So who's going to marshal what we look at and
we'll still have the agenda. I think something I want to discuss with legal, and I'm not quite sure how this would work because I don't want it to be like an elephants all the way down kind of situation, is seeing if I can continue at least for a while until we get this figured out to keep producing packets for the sake of having them printed off so that it's easier for commissioners to follow. The reason why I think that might not be possible is then those packets wouldn't meet the accessibility standards anyway. So,
But how it would work is the agenda, like here for, so
Right.
the extension of COA 2392, that would be a link to that specific COA.
yeah, there would be a folder that includes.
Yeah, that has all the stuff for that specific
Uh-huh.
one. So you click on that, look at all that stuff, close it out. For the next one that comes up, you click on that one, look through all that stuff. Is that
And so,
how it would
yeah,
work?
so I'd still have the PowerPoints, and it would walk through all of the files basically that are in the folder for that COA.
Yeah.
So you would still see, everything that's been submitted by the applicant. But
If there's a
yeah, it would be sort of more chopped up,
if somehow there's a glitch in the Wi-Fi, which
like there was today.
we're let me see, we would be in trouble then.
Wouldn't be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you download all this stuff ahead of time on your
You could
computer.
download it ahead
do
of
that,
time.
right.
And we could help by providing guides. We were, if I could speak
Sure.
to it.
She was at the meeting.
Yeah, it was a meeting that was held with our whole department from our IT department that met with all boards and commissions, explaining what the requirements were, giving us guidance on how to do that. And when Noah was asking a lot of questions about it, since many of the documents, we've seen them, are architectural drawings and some handwritten things from petitioners, things that there's just not really a way for a screen reader to be able to read, trying to determine how he'd be able to continue to do the work that he's doing and also make it not too difficult for the commissioners trying to find a way to provide the accessible document, but also support the commissioners that are accustomed to not doing things by using folders. And so I think there's ways that some ideas that you brought up and how to make it easier for the commissioners.
So
but
there's gonna be.
we also have to do it.
Yeah, there's going to be a 3-week gap rather than the usual 2-week gap between this meeting and the next meeting. So next week I want to play around with setting up the agenda for the next meeting and seeing how I can make it navigable and more familiar for you. And also, while it's still not problematic to do it, seeing how I might be able to modify the printed packets.
Yeah, and it's anything that's available to the public or sent out to the public has to be an accessible document. Anything that is internal and is not shared with the public doesn't have that same, I was gonna say limitation, but the whole idea is to make things accessible so people that aren't as sighted can participate.
And like I said, there's a lot of ways in which it makes sense. It just makes a lot more sense in other contexts besides our commission.
Yeah.
So the Plan Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals will be in the same
Yeah.
position, so you'll have some people to work with trying to figure out how to continue to provide materials in a meaningful way so that decisions can be made.
Sam?
Writing letters.
Next item.
Where are we?
Next item on the agenda.
New business, oh boy. Are we violations yet, or?
We can discuss violations. So
That was.
there's a handful that we're dealing with right now. 806 South Woodlawn.
Before we do that, I might want to address what all the Cottage Grove people are for, so you don't have to stick around forever and ever. Unless you're just here for
enjoyment.
Well, no,
So-
I think,
so
I
entertaining.
think Noah just addressed it. We were wondering about scheduling when we were gonna kind of come
Okay.
forward.
Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you, Brad.
And
Thank you, as always.
We'll be here. At least we hope.
You have a question?
Do you have something additional?
I wanted to somehow get a message to a previous petitioner. I didn't know how to do that. What I wanted to say was, this was the one about the accessory unit at
West 12th Street.
Mhm.
Wanted him to look at 714 North Washington, which is in our neighborhood. It is a great example of an accessory unit that was built, that looks just like the main house. It's a good size. It's a great example of what he's trying to do, and I think he'd be happy. I don't know how to, I don't know who the person was.
Well, I'm gonna be keeping in touch with him, so I can check out that
Thank you.
ADU and see if it's a good,
Okay, thank you.
good example.
All right, sorry about the back and forth.
May I ask a quick question, just
Please do.
to make sure? So the motion that was made about sending a letter to the mayor's office, would that be considered new business?
Yeah.
And then the accessibility standards also, and then the application for the Cottage Grove Historic District, would that be considered new business, or would that be under comments?
Just put that all under new business.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
that's new business.
And my apologies to interrupt. I
No,
wanna
it makes
make sure
sense.
I-
Thank you.
I have it right.
Oh, you need to be organized, that's okay.
So do we all.
Yeah.
Okay, violations?
Violations, 806 South Woodlawn. Have we had a meeting since that came up?
I don't believe we have.
Okay.
I can give you the short version.
You wanna give the rundown, you can.
So, Noah and I have been attending meetings of the Elm Heights Historic District's guideline review sessions. And at the first one, one of the members was concerned that there was a house that the people had just pulled out all the original windows, and why hadn't anything happened to them? So I inquired as to what the house was. They told me. We looked into it. It's a house that was bought by, it's on Woodlawn. It was bought by a property management company that has been before this commission before, so they know the rules. They took out all the original windows, and so we have served them a notice of violation and expect to see them before this body in not too long. There are other issues with that that I want to talk to legal about, but I don't know that those necessarily have to do with this commission.
So they have gotten back to me, and sounds like they want to submit for a COA, which, I mean, the current windows don't meet district guidelines, so it would have to be reversion to something that's more like what was originally there.
So I want to make that clear to them.
Yeah.
Just so we don't get a COA where it's just like, this is.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's that one, that's fine. What other violations are on?
301 East Glendora.
Oh, right, Matlock Heights.
In Matlock Heights.
The sneaky window in the basement.
Yeah, Anna Hansen and I need to decide on the lien that's gonna be put on that property.
Oh.
So if people remember,
Those are
there
not
was
delivered,
a basement window that they did not come before the commission, they did not respond. We haven't seen them. And so this is what we know.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, you said a lien, did we send them a notice of violation with a fine? And then it's moved on to a lien, or has it been the?
Well, if they don't pay the fine, then
So they've been fined
it's
and
placed as a
and
lien on the
noticed.
property.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you,
That's where the
thank
lien
you.
comes from.
I was just trying to
Yeah,
understand.
for the
sequence
non-payment
there.
of the fine.
Yeah. Has the neighborhood design review committee chimed in on this at any point during the process?
I haven't heard from them.
That's interesting.
Might be, maybe ping them again, just to see.
Just to say, hey, this is happening, this is what the guidelines say, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. 702 West Kirkwood, I think some of you might have been confused as to why that was back on our schedule. You know, considering that there was more than 30 days in which we weren't able to hear the petition. Well, you know, they've done more work on one of those windows, so they're really just pigs at the scab. And they're gonna have to continue dealing with us because that not only is the original violation not resolved, but they don't get the automatic approval.
Well, that's they did additional work with that.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Lucky not to give a second fine, really.
I'm gonna have to get with them about submitting an application before they do. Mm-hmm.
Are we precluded from applying interest or unpaid fines?
On our fines?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's anything in the I can look at that. I don't know that there's anything in the language about interest, but what there is that each day constitutes an additional fine, so you could really be fining somebody up to the maximum, which I think is $7,500, right?
I'm not sure where it describes the maximum.
Up to the maximum of whatever's allowed for a municipality.
Okay.
But it's per day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
it's
a
per
daily
day.
basis, so better
Okay.
than interest.
Serve the same thing, I think.
It can add up pretty
Yeah.
quickly
That's
if
right.
you want it to.
Right.
I don't know that we want it to, and we don't have control over that. I think that's you over there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. People's State Bank. Despite saying to several people that they wouldn't, they claim that their sign contractor put up a sign on the wrong part of the building when they told them not to. They actually reached out to me
What did they do
after they had put it up and then taken it down.
So this is,
Can you clean that
I think there's two different issues.
Right.
One is they had to put an additional sign that was not approved on the west-facing
Yeah.
facade. So they drilled more holes and done that, but they also, we asked them not to drill holes. They drilled holes in the north-facing facade as well.
For the bagel sign?
The bagel sign, the Gable Bagel people,
The black
yeah.
marble?
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah.
There are people who can repair those holes and make it look like the original surface, but it, it's an extra.
It's, I mean,
Might be suggested to
so we're gonna talk to them when they come back.
That black mark.
But I am not thrilled at the moment.
No, not at all. That should have been easy.
I mean, it was
Design.
not rocket science, and it was like, just don't do this, and it'll be
And then they
okay.
did it. Yeah.
So they did it twice.
That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
They did it twice. So I'm like, ah. Anyway,
Okay.
that's that one. What else we got?
So I went over the new business that I wanted to talk about, so changes to the packets and the fact that we're gonna be seeing this application from Cottage Grove, and I hope we're ready for it. Is there anything that anyone on the commission would like to add?
Big things for me are getting people.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we get people, I want to tackle the procedural stuff. And, yeah,
The procedural stuff. Can you
that being, having, notice of violations be a separate track, and
Okay.
also having I think the other piece of this, which, was in my head, but I don't think I said it out loud at this meeting, is it seems to be a recurring issue that we don't have a full slate of commissioners when we need to have elections. And I would like to change our rules and regulations so that we don't have elections until we have a full slate. Because I don't think it's fair to the future members of the commission that, you get some yahoo in the chair that doesn't necessarily represent what they want to have happen.
Which particular Yahoo are you talking about?
The one that was just named interim chair after serving as chair for a year.
Well, as soon as this is over, that's no longer.
This kind of oppressive regime. The New World Order.
Any closing comments? Anything else from the public?
Question.
Jack?
Question, this is really goes to legal. Designation by the common council of a building for historic purposes. Is that required by the state, Fed, or whoever, that it lie with the common council? My question is, could that possibly, if they wanted, be designated to this commission or somewhere else if they wanted? Or does it just have to stay with them?
So I believe that in state law, it is the Common Council that has, as the legislative body, that has the authority to approve the designation. So I don't know that they can delegate it to an advisory or recommending body. That's,
I don't know
that
if
would
they
be-
would either.
I don't know that they would, but I also think that would be a
well.
little bit of dereliction of duty if they started delegating the things that they're specifically responsible for to other boards and commissions.
Had to ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, just following from what Jack said, I was at the last council meeting where the approval was granted. And interestingly, I heard, I don't remember what her name was, but she is a chair or president of the head person?
The person, Hope
President.
Strasburg was the president
Right.
last year, yeah.
Make a comment, and I'm paraphrasing here, I don't believe in approving something that just meets one of the criteria. In my mind, it has to meet at least 2 or 3 before I will vote for it. And that comment is not in keeping with the law. And if she didn't say anything, then nobody would know. But she said it out loud. It's in the record. In my opinion, that is not in order. And my question is there something that can be said in response to it?
I actually had a little talk one-on-one with Sydney, telling her how bad I felt. I still feel guilty that I didn't speak to when Isabel asked that question. Is there a precedent for a designation in Bloomington? And I don't know of a property in Bloomington, but I thought when it's my turn, I'm going to get up there and tell her that, you know, these are federal law, right? So, and there are cases around the country, and the best case I know of for a building that, or type of building that's designated as historic, that has no architectural value, you know, which is what made her uncomfortable, is the cabins of enslaved peoples. But I've just come up with another example, has just been pointed out to me, of temporary housing, shacks that were built in Golden Gate Park in San Francisco as temporary housing after the 1906 earthquake. They still exist. They were moved out of the park.
But even the
after a period.
Japanese internment camps
Yeah.
from the war,
Yeah, those.
they're just
There are
barracks.
examples, and I would like to, somehow I think if she's gonna be our liaison, she could be our channel for having these kinds of discussions.
I guess my problem is I would argue that those buildings do have architectural significance.
They're World War II
Well-
Army barracks. I mean, how architecturally significant are those?
I mean, vernacular.
I think Karen has
Yeah.
the right idea. I
Yeah.
think the whole point of having a council liaison is to have someone that does understand the code and understands the nuances, that it can be significant for a reason, or it can meet all of the problems, and that is a legal standard
But
that
it's
is
in the
met.
plain language. It is not and, it says or.
It's also
And if we have to explain grammar to
her
the city,
purview
it's her
to be able to
prerogative
say
to
what
do
she
that,
wants to say, so
If
I'm
we
not
have a
sure
good
that that's the
article
way to
or
address it.
something
But I
about it, we
agree
could
that
pass
needs to
it
be
along,
something
maybe we can just send it to the committee.
Yeah, it's an
You know,
education.
I wanna ask her.
Is it her plan to come to sit in the meetings for at least a portion of the meeting, do you think? Or
I do
Zulik?
not know, Councilwoman Zulik. but
Yeah,
I don't know if she'll be here for every meeting. I think she will try to be here as much as she's very available and very interested in this. But I do think we will have a conduit to her, and maybe it'll be the chair and Noah that meet with her if she can't be at the meeting, to make sure that she is up to speed on everything, and so she can speak to it with a knowledge base if it were to come up at council.
I was going to just suggest that if she is going to sit in for a portion of the meeting, we could adjust the agenda perhaps to present issues to her to take back to council, make it
easy.
Yeah, I would be curious to ask her what the reporting out mechanism is, if there's a formal process where the council members actually bring information from their assigned commissions back to the council in any kind of format, so that we could assist with that process.
She did say she was gonna try to set meetings with everybody too.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, but I think she'll be a great champion.
Yeah, something had come up tonight where she had been intending to attend the entire meeting, and then there was some other event that she learned that she had to go to, yeah.
She did say to me that she would not be able to attend every meeting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't think we'll see her here all that often, but we can reach out to her.
I think so,
Sure.
and we can find out what works best for her in terms of sharing information or giving her an update.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm glad you brought that point up, because that was a glaring problem, and I felt bad about not speaking up right then.
I'm starting to learn. I probably shouldn't speak when I feel like speaking. Okay. I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Yeah, is there anything else?
Hearing nothing further, we are adjourned.